Hold on. It's so much information. Recruiting. Why'd they put so much? Hellcats. Chargers. Why? All right, so the Dynasty, Jesus Christ. All right, so the Dynasty Deep Dive for College Football 25 came out a couple days ago. And bruh, to be honest, they gave us so much information it's hard to comprehend at once. All day yesterday and today, I've been trying to figure out how to approach this video just because there's so much information. So what I'm going to do is narrow down the top 3 things that stood out to me in the Dynasty Deep Dive video and article. All right, so boom, we back again. Just subscribe. Just hit the button, bro. Just subscribe, bro. It's not even, it takes less than 0.5 seconds to hit the button, bro. Just hit the button. Hit it! Alright, so as I said, EA put out some news about the Dynasty mode in College Football 25. And Deep Dive ain't even a word. I felt like I sat down with the developer who coded the game and he just told me everything he put into it, which is great. Now, disclaimer, I didn't play Dynasty NCAA 14. I barely played NCAA 14. I'm not gonna lie to you. But since they announced this game, I've been really wanting to get my nose into it. So all of the stuff that they released sounds super exciting to me, and I want to talk about it all. But like I said, there's so much information, it's hard for me to just narrow down what I want to talk about. So if I start gushing about the stuff that stood out to me and it was in NCAA 14, you've been warned. Anyway, number one for me is building your coach, building the way you want to play. So they explain that you can start off as 3 different coaches, either a head coach, a defensive coordinator, or an offensive coordinator. Now, if you start as a head coach, you'll be able to hire your defensive and offensive coordinators. So throughout the course of the season, your coordinators will be able to get better at their jobs and develop their own skills. And towards the middle to end of the season, if your coordinators feel like they're good enough, they can take jobs at other places. So say you're having a really good season, your offense is top notch. When the bowl games start, your offensive or defensive coordinator is able to enter the coaching carousel and be picked up as a head coach for a different team, which will send you into the coaching carousel and you'll have to find a new offensive or defensive coordinator. Also, as a coach, you have 3 backstories you can choose from: motivator, tactician, and recruiter. Motivators are able to boost their players' composure and their ratings. Recruiters, obviously their main job is recruiting, so most of your skills will be tied to that. And as a tactician, you're able to boost your players' ratings on game day and also scheme up big plays on the fly. Me personally, I'm probably going to be a motivator. It best suits my personality, and also the boosted composure will help my players play better in bigger environments. But wait, there's more. As a coach, you have 50 abilities of your own skill tree. And even though the Dynasty takes place over the course of 30 years, you will never be able to max out one stat over the other. But these abilities include Battery Pack, which will have the opposing team more fatigued on Hurry Up, all the way up to a tier 4 ability like Tipped Your Hat, which gives you a chance to see the defensive coverage shell on Hurry Up. I like it. It's an interesting way to spruce up and give an added element to Dynasty. Number 2, of course, it's gotta be recruiting. What I think the coolest part about recruiting is the deal breakers. So when you're recruiting players, they have wants and needs, such as coach ability, coach prestige, brand exposure, or something simple like stadium atmosphere. If there are some things you can't give them, like for example, most players that play at your school don't end up going to the NFL, that could be a deal breaker for them. Then you'll receive a lockout, which means you won't be able to recruit that player to your school. For other players, they can be swayed, and for some, you can soft sell and hard sell them. So soft selling awards a moderate amount of influence when choosing the correct pitch. I'm reading this off the shit. It also limits the downside risk and penalty of pitching the prospect on something they don't care about. So this is best for when you have some idea of what the recruit is actually motivated by. A hard sell provides the most influence when choosing the correct pitch, but it also comes down with the largest penalty if you pitch the wrong thing. Then at the end of it all, you can close on a recruit. So the biggest thing in this process that I saw was to invite them to the campus. So what you would want to do in this situation is invite them to a big game, like a rivalry game, and you better hope you win, because if you don't, it leaves a negative lasting impression on your school, and that recruit may end up not joining just because you lost the game. And that's that immersive shit I was talking about in the last video. Make me feel like I'm working for it. Make me feel like I need this. I need you here. Make me feel something. That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing for me. And the last one's a quick one, but I also like how they stated that EA actually went to some universities and actually wrote down grades for some of these things that you can pitch your recruits on. So like those elements that I was saying earlier that you can pitch the recruit on, like stadium atmosphere and campus lifestyle, they went out and took notes on these things. And for some of the grades on these things, they aren't gonna change whatsoever. So as I said, something like campus lifestyle will stay the same for the whole game. And I like this simply because it shows how EA just went out of their way to make this Dynasty mode as realistic and deep as possible. They tried this time. Yeah, I'm still sweating from trying to cram all this information and making it make sense in my head, trying to retain it all to regurgitate it back. doesn't work sometimes. As I said, it's new to me because I didn't play the previous installments of the game. I stuck to the pro stuff. But regardless, with all the information that they gave us, I'm probably going to be diving deep myself into Dynasty mode, and I'm ready to get started. As I said, I will be starting a Dynasty on this channel, so go ahead and subscribe. And yeah, one more week. I can't fucking wait. Okay.